Decides to get a new one.
It's still playing my Call of Duty. Oh, there it goes. It's finished. Turn that off.
Wait, why would it be playing your Call of Duty
Because
while
it's
I'm
still
not?
on in the background through my headset.
Oh, oh,
All right,
oh,
we
oh.
should be live now. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we are live.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Cool. All right, what's up, guys? We got a 9-game slate on tap for today. Got my boy Zach with me. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just starting to look at this slate. Got the one game at 7, one game at 7:30 again. So anyone that's listening or gonna be listening, make sure you're ready for switches later. I'll go ahead and warn everyone now, like I do a million times. But we're gonna get news for these 8 p.m. games. We're gonna get news for these 9 p.m. games, and so on and so forth. And, instead of having 3 hours between games, we're gonna have 2 hours early because we're gonna have 2 games lock earlier, and then the rest locks later. So always be ready for switches.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there we go. What's up, Joe Worm? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's go ahead and get started, man. Well, we'll give people a minute to trickle in here.
Just go ahead and start. It doesn't matter. People will listen. Playback. Oh.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's hit it, man. Let's start off.
I even
Let's
have my
go.
coffee on my yawning.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's start off with the Raptors taking on the Wizards. The Raptors are 5.5-point favorites. The over/under is 234.5. What do you like from this game, Zach? And do we have any injury news?
Anunoby should be playing. That's about it for this game, injury-wise. I expect him to play.
I hope
If he
so.
doesn't, it's going to be the same thing you're seeing Norman Powell start, so it doesn't really change a whole lot. Um, with Anunoby playing, you may be inclined to see less minutes from Baines in this matchup. I expect this is a good matchup for Boucher, so I expect them to play
It
him
is.
today. Because there's no traditional center. I mean, Robin Lopez, yes, it's a traditional center, but I think he matches up really good with Alex Lynn. I think he matches up fine with Robin Lopez too. Um, so in this game, Bradley Beal's a fine price on DraftKings, 9,300. Fred VanVleet's a little bit too priced up. Westbrook is 8,400. I can really see getting to him a lot today. If this game stays close, which I hope it does with Westbrook and Beal playing, even though they just got blown out by Charlotte and Miami. Um, but I will say that Toronto's defense isn't the same as it has been, so I do like Westbrook, especially at 8,400. I mean, I can get to him at that cheap price. I expect him even in like limited minutes to be able to pay off that price. So I really do like that price. Kyle Lowry at 7,300 is another thing that you could think about getting to. He dropped his price after he came out with back spasms. After he had done 2 really good games, had a pretty bad game against Atlanta with some foul trouble maybe earlier on. May have mixed up what he was doing. I'd have to look at the foul situation there, but yeah, obviously Kyle Lowry's a player that can get you 20 points, so it's possible as well. The Memphis game, just to write that one off, he came out early with back spasms and didn't return. So, um, what?
Sorry, my computer's like screwing up. You're good.
Oh, okay. For the rest of this game, if Davis Bertans starts again, I think you can go back to him. He played 38 minutes against Chicago, shot 4 for 11. That's that's what he does. If he gets hot though from 3, if he hits, he could hit half his threes. He destroys this price tag. I expect him to get a couple more rebounds and maybe an assist or two. He's usually not this empty on the peripherals. This is his first game starting. Coming back into that starting role. I expect him to have 4 or 5 rebounds and like 1 to 2 assists. With one or he had 2 steals last game, so I expect him to have like probably 1 steal a game or 1 steal and 1 steal or 1 block, whatever. Have around 1 stock a game. So 4,600. If he's starting again, I really do like that price tag. Toronto's giving up a lot of 3-pointers, so I do like getting to Bertans for value on this slate, just as an early look. We have other value in the OKC game as well, but you may need Bertans if you want to get up to several of these top price people in Westbrook, Siakam, and so on and so forth. But really, it's Westbrook, sprinkle in some Lowry. Obviously, you can play Beal and Van Vliet if you wanted to. But priorities for me is Westbrook and Bertans if he starts, and Lowry's a third option if you want to get there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let me flip over to FanDuel here, see if I see anything. Lowry's a good price, 7,600. Fred VanVleet's too expensive for me. Did you talk about Siakam?
I don't.
Sorry.
I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, you can play him. He's priced up.
He
And
is.
I don't like. He's 8,300 on DraftKings. He's like 9K sometimes.
94.
Yeah. Just don't. I don't see you needing to get to him on this slate.
I don't think so either. And I agree with you. I think Boucher has a pretty good matchup
He's a good GPP
there.
play for sure.
Yeah. He's 6K. So that's what I really
Yeah.
like there. Nothing else for me. So we're good.
I think Bertans is good on FanDuel as well, 4,200 as long as he starts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could definitely go like a Sabonis Bertans and
Yep.
you're starting
Very
off pretty
possible.
good. So, okay, next one. Let's move along. We got lots of games today. All right, next one is the Hawks taking on the Mavericks. The Mavericks are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under is 232.5. Let me see if we got any injury news
Yeah.
here.
So I don't think so. I mean,
Just Hunter's out.
Rajon
Rondo's
Rondo
out.
is out. That's Rajon Rondo being out. Maybe open up a few more minutes for Brian Goodwin, and maybe
Yeah,
just a few more. Like instead of Trae Young getting 36 minutes, he pushes 37, 38. I don't think it
yeah.
really affects that much.
Nothing
Um,
on the Dallas side.
no. I don't expect any Porzingis or to sit or anything like that. So I think this game's full go. We've seen this game a couple times. Luka's done pretty well in it, averaging 64. Um, he hasn't been shooting too well, so he's had a lot of free throws in the games with the between these two teams, or the game between these two teams. Um, Trae also didn't play too well. Shot 18 times, made 8. Like so, I don't think I'm gonna be really getting too much Luka or Trae on this slate. Luka would be the one I would get to, obviously, over Trae. Trae at lower 9Ks I really like this year. He's at 9,900 on DraftKings. It's kind of hard for me to get there. Um, John Collins at 7,500. He's been playing a lot better. So I think his price is fair. This is a good more paced up matchup for him. It's a good matchup for him just in general. Porzingis hasn't been playing a lot of defense, allowing power forwards and centers to score a lot underneath and outside. Porzingis is a lot more offensively adept right now. So don't mind getting to Collins if you wanted to. Clint Capella obviously as well. I think he's kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. He just did have a 52, but some subpar performances before that. You can get to Capella, but really this game's priced overall like well on DraftKings. So I'm not going to get to too much of it. I will say also one thing, one little nugget here. If Gallinari starts, and
Way
because I've
too
heard his
cheap.
minutes limit is coming up. He just played 25 against Toronto. Yes, he shot. Remember, he shot 4 for 6, 3 of 5 from 3, and had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. I don't expect him to do that much peripherals every game, but there's a path to him starting soon over Reddish, and with no Hunter for a while, I can I can see him
Yeah, they said he's out
coming
6 weeks.
into a yeah, I can see him coming into a starting position soon. Reddish has not been playing well, so just watch that to make sure. Gallinari's a super good value at 4,500 if he's starting. If he's coming off the bench, he could play 25 minutes again. I expect him to maybe play a couple more, but I can't take him in cash if he doesn't start.
Yeah, for sure. I like that call. Yeah, and he's super cheap, man. You can go a lot worse than Gallo at 3,800 at a small forward position on
Yeah, for
FanDuel.
sure.
Do
Well,
you like?
3,800 on FanDuel at 3,800, I think you can play him in cash. 4,500 on DraftKings is a little bit different. Again, this is the story of on FanDuel. If it
Yeah,
gets you 20 at 3,800, you're pretty happy. He gets you 20 on DraftKings, you're not happy about it. You need 22 and a half at minimum.
yeah, facts.
Those 2 3 points do add up at the end of the night. Like that could be the difference in cashing or not. So that's definitely a thing to consider. Like I would project him for around 20 off the bench. So 3,800 is fine. 3,500 is not.
Yeah, for sure. Do you like Herter on FanDuel? He's shooting guard 5K.
Yeah, 5K is a very fair price tag. This is a good
I
matchup
like him.
for him. Yeah, he's starting. So as long as he's starting, I don't mind getting to him.
He should be.
He had a really good game against Dallas. Granted, remember Trae Young was in foul trouble in the first half
He
of
was.
that game. So his 46-point add-in may not be there again, but you can realistically see him get 38. So 5K is a really good price tag.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, he dropped 46 FanDuel points on him last time. So yeah, he may not do that again. He got a little. I mean, he's played 38 minutes
It's just
that day.
nice him being in the starting lineup. Like he's just
Agreed.
gonna be able to usually fall into enough points to pay off that price tag.
Yeah, and I really like that Gallo take. Love it. I think Luke is going to be a little popular on FanDuel. It looking like he's getting 25-ish in GPPs, so that may creep near 40, 50% on FanDuel. So we'll see.
See
We'll
Luke
see how.
yeah.
Yeah,
See
it'll
Luke at
shake out.
19 right now.
So, all right. Let's go ahead and move on. We've got the next block of games here at 8:10 Eastern. We've got the Hornets taking on the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are favored 4 points. Over under is 224.
Yeah, I mean, here's a okay. We already know Devontae Graham's out. Sorry, I thought he was still questionable. Excuse me. Um, obviously you can keep playing LaMelo. I don't like him in these 8K price tags. Like he was really the benefit of Terry Rozier first half foul trouble the other day. Not saying this isn't a good matchup for him. He's
Yeah,
playing
Graham is
plenty of
out, by the way.
yeah. He's playing LaMelo's playing plenty of minutes. I don't mind getting to him on either site. And this is like the thing with on FanDuel is that you have Malcolm Brogdon at point guard. So you're at 7,200 against Brooklyn. You're playing him, which we haven't got to that game yet, but I'm just spoiler alert. So Lamelo could be your other point guard. That's fine. DraftKings is the same situation. Brogdon's 7,400. I don't mind paying 8,500 for Lamelo. It's the same thing the other day that like Terry Rozier offers me a point guard shooting guard for $2,300 less and is going to be on the court plenty. Last game was a blowout. Which Lamelo still scored 50 on DraftKings in a blowout. So again, he's fine to play. This is a good matchup for him. Memphis is playing at a decent pace. They're actually decently deficient or defensive efficiency. They're like middle of the pack, so they're not like a terrible team defensively. But Rozier also had three first half fouls. He played a great first quarter, got us like 10 or 11 points, and then got three fouls in like the span of like 2-3 minutes in the second. Like literally like checked back in, got like three fouls like back to back to back, and got checked back out. Didn't play anymore. He still ended up playing 15 minutes in the first half because he plays the whole first quarter. He plays 12 minutes and then sits. They play LaMelo the first like 6 or 7 minutes, give him a rest. He comes back in the start of the second. Um, LaMelo got a ton more run in the first half yesterday than normal. So did Malik Monk. So Rozier at a cheap price tag, I like a lot. And I think you can play both. On DraftKings, you can obviously play both because Rozier is a shooting guard. On FanDuel, it's a little bit more dicey because then you're fading Brogdon, which I do not recommend doing. But again, on FanDuel, you're still talking about a $2,100 savings to go down to Rozier. So if your lineup needs that construction, then go for it. If not, then you can play LaMelo or you can play Rozier. It doesn't really matter. The rest of this game, though, on DraftKings wise, Gordon Hayward's too expensive for me. I don't like playing anyone from Memphis. Like John Morant's such a good price. He did just play 37 minutes against Toronto. I don't know if he goes back to that though. That's the problem. 7,300 is a really good price tag for him. I just don't know if that's where I want to get to until I see him routinely playing minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
he's 71 on FanDuel. It's a really good price.
it's a really good price tag, but again, I'd rather play obviously Brogdon, and then I'd rather play Lamelo or Rozier over him. So
Yeah,
um,
agreed.
the rest of this game is kind of tough.
What do you think
Anthony
about?
Melton's still out, which could pave the way for Morant to keep seeing more minutes, but I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
so
I talked to you before we got on the show that I really like Zeller against this
yeah,
Memphis
yeah.
interior.
On FanDuel, that's a silly price tag, 5,200.
5,200.
Yeah, okay, cool. He had a bad game against Houston in a blowout. Cool. And then also, I think they blew out Washington. They blew out Washington. He only played 20 minutes and had four fouls. Still got you 32. Um, he had Gobert was just a bad matchup for him in a blowout. Um, so Utah, he played 23 minutes, but then before that, I mean, he was playing a lot. I expect his minutes to come back up today as long as he's out of foul trouble. So 5,200 on Vandal's a really good price tag.
Yeah, I really like that. We got anything else from this game we need to talk about?
We can go to the next one.
You don't. What do you think about PJ Washington? I'm just looking at his price tag on FanDuel. He's
Yeah,
5,800. You're probably just not going to get there. Not a bad
yeah,
price. Yeah, that's pretty much it all I got. We can move on.
yeah. Sounds good to me.
All right, we've got the Pacers taking on the Nets. The Nets are favored 1.5 points, and the over/under is 235.
Yeah. So we just saw the same Brooklyn team allow a crap ton of points to the Pistons. We were on DeLon Wright last night for obvious reasons. Brooklyn doesn't play defense. They're dead last in defensive efficiency since acquiring Harden. They're dead last. It's not like Durant improves this or anything. They're dead last. It doesn't matter. They're allowing teams to score a crap ton of points. Harden was yelling at DeAndre Jordan last night for being bad on defense when he does the same thing. So
DeAndre Jordan is bad.
yeah,
Bad.
I mean he's old. I'm not saying he's a good defender, but like I saw Harden yelling at him. I was like, this is stupid. You're just as
They just
bad.
need to trade for a center, man.
They
Like a
do. They need a
young,
defensive
athletic
center.
center.
I
Just
will
trade for
say
Drummond. I mean, he's not
I will
young.
say having Durant, out several times. Well, this is really the first time since acquiring Harden. But this team's kind of been in disarray the whole year. I expect them to get better throughout the year. They're
Yeah.
still going to score. They're going to score a ton of points every single night. That's not going to change. I expect their defense to get better. It may not show up in the numbers per game because they're going to allow teams to score because they're scoring a lot. The pace is really fast. Like it's just like Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a better defense overall, but they're a high-paced team. They allow teams to score, so their defense looks bad, even though it's really not. So their the defense per possession is different than their overall defensive record in the 1 through 30 through NBA. Brooklyn's is bad on every metric, so it doesn't matter right now. We have Sabonis way too cheap on both sites. We have Brogdon insanely cheap on both sites.
What's he
Sabonis
on
is a much better play on
DraftKings?
7,400. You're playing both of these
Man.
guys. If you're not playing both of these guys, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna attack the same thing that we did last night, the point guard and the power forward. I'm doing it again. With no Durant, I will play power forwards and centers against Brooklyn every single day. I don't mind playing. How much is Miles Turner?
6,800.
See, 6K flat on DraftKings, so I don't mind playing him to go along with it. Like you can play every single person. I'm gonna probably just stick to Sabonis and Brogdon, stick to the main people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind getting to a Jeremy Lamb. I don't mind getting to. Yeah, I really just don't mind getting Jeremy Lamb. The rest is kind of just no. But damn, if this is not a good matchup, so it's probably just Brogdon Sabonis for me. Obviously, you can play Kyrie, you can play Harden.
Yeah, I definitely favor
For me,
Harden.
I was just about to say I probably favor Harden. He is 10-4, but he gives you a point guard, shooting guard, so that's nice. I don't mind Kyrie at 9,100, but what's their
Yeah,
prices
let me.
on FanDuel?
I want to talk about Kyrie, but Harden is 10-6 and Kyrie is 95. So Kyrie
Yeah, I prefer
dislocated his
Harden.
finger on his shooting hand, and he said it really sucks to play through it. So I can't play him right now.
With that being said, he still shot 28 times last game.
28 times.
He shot 28 times. Like it's him and
Holy
Harden
shit!
taking 90% of the shots. I mean, Harden only shot 14 times, but still,
He almost had a triple double.
Harden had 5 blocks and 2 steals. I don't expect that every game, but so
Either.
take that with a grain of salt. But I expect him to get triple doubles a lot. So
Yep.
especially with no KD, that obviously huge upside for him. Kyrie's scoring Kyrie doesn't really change when Harden and Durant are both on the court. He obviously improves with them off, but with just Durant off, he's kind of just being the same person. With Durant on, he's the same person. He's just scoring a crap ton. He's taking the most shots on the team, and this is what he's gonna do every single night. He's gonna take the most shots. So I'm hoping his price tag falls just a tad more. If we can get him into the upper 8Ks, he's gonna really start being a play for me. But right now he's not. It's Brogdon and Sabonis, and that's about it from this game. And then you obviously can play Harden. I don't want to into the other little ancillary pieces from this.
Yeah, Harden's picking up some ownership too. But yeah,
Should.
I love Brogdon and Sabonis, man. Love that combo. All right, let's move on. That's a pretty good game, though. I'm surprised.
Oh, it's a very good game.
I'm honestly surprised the Pacers aren't favored there, but we'll see.
Yeah, Brooklyn on a back-to-back, kind of looking bad. But the Pacers have not been good, so.
Yeah, that just screams trap to me. I would hit the spread there for the Pacers. All right, the next game we've got the Clippers taking on the Timberwolves. The Clippers are favored 10.5 points, and the over/under is 223.5. Has a blowout written all over it for me.
It does. Towns is doubtful. I doubt he plays.
Is he ever gonna come back?
I don't know. They're getting him conditioning, like he's practicing and stuff. So
okay,
again, they want his lung capacity to be better, is what I've been reading. So I don't think he's gonna play today. Kawhi at 9,400 is a fine play if you think this game could stay close.
Paul George is out. Yep.
Yeah, he's still out. So this is a really good matchup for Kawhi. No one's gonna be able to guard him. I actually like Minnesota to keep this game within 10.5 if I was betting. And here's why. I know you don't have Towns. Minnesota has been playing decent. You just have Kawhi. You don't have Paul George. You don't have Patrick Beverly. So that definitely.
Well, he's a game time decision. You think he's gonna be back today, Beverly?
Who? Oh, Beverly's a game time decision. I
Yep.
didn't see that.
He is in the expected lineup, so
I
starting.
mean, I don't. Beverly doesn't really bother me. D'Angelo Russell's questionable. I expect him to actually play this game. They've been kind of doing him every other game, but he did leave the other game, so I don't know what to expect with him. I think you can keep playing Beasley whenever you want. He's just kind of get you 35 a game. He blew up last game against Dallas, but I don't expect that. He was shooting very poorly and then hit like 5 threes in the fourth quarter. So, but you can always play him if you need to. The rest of this game is just not for me.
Yep. Me either.
Yeah, none of this is like screaming out to me to play or anything like that. So, um, you can take shots at like Luke Kennard and stuff like that.
I was about to ask
But
you about him. He's 4,500 shooting guard on FanDuel.
yeah, I just don't know his minutes. They're kind of just like toying around with it. Like same thing with Jared Vanderbilt. Like I would expect like him to be decent, but I just don't know his minutes. So it's really Kawhi from me and Beasley, and that's it.
Yeah, Beasley's 7,400 on FanDuel. That's nuts.
Yeah, he jumped up after we just played him.
That's crazy.
He's 7K on DraftKings, but I mean if this is your last piece, it doesn't. I'm fine playing him.
Yeah, for sure.
Played him the other day. He was my last piece. He made the rest of the lineup work. Like that's what it
I
is for
am
me.
just I'm more to the tune of I'm gonna just pick my games, and this is not one. So,
Yeah, agreed.
all right, let's move on, man. We've got the Pelicans taking on the Bulls. The Pelicans are 2.5-point favorites, and the over/under is 229.5. I think both of these teams are coming off they're on a back-to-back, right?
The
Pretty sure they
Bulls are
both
not.
just
The Pelicans are.
okay.
So, just looking at everything right here on DraftKings, there's not a lot that I see that I'm liking. Um, yeah, there's literally nothing that I want on DraftKings from Chicago.
Yeah.
From New Orleans, I think you can still play Zion around this 8,100. He was in foul trouble yesterday and only played 21 minutes, and that wasn't really because it's because their whole team really didn't play the second half almost. They were just destroying Houston. And I mean, you saw Josh Hart go absolutely bonkers. You saw I think there was another. You saw Juancho Hernan Gomez. It's really Willie or whatever you want to say. Juancho Hernan Gomez going uh, you know 38 fantasy points. Like saw him in a couple takedown lineups. So
Yeah. Hart blew up because Houston was playing small ball. They took Cousins out.
yeah. Cousins didn't really play. Well, it's because Zion was in foul trouble too, which
Agreed.
helped that.
Yeah, that definitely
Um,
gave him 17 boards. That's nuts.
yeah, you're not playing any of these. I just don't see getting to any of this game.
Yeah. FanDuel, there's a couple plays here. I think Kobe White's in play at 5,600. We talked about him before the
Yeah,
show.
I agree.
Adams is
Again,
okay at 52. He's okay. He
mhm.
just doesn't score a lot. And then Bledsoe's not bad at 51. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah, the only thing with like Kobe White's a good price, and I did play him the other day. He shot terribly, but the thing is like he shot terribly and still got you 21 fantasy points. But again, you've got Malcolm Brogdon, you've got Rozier, you've got
yeah,
Ball,
opportunity
you've
cost.
got a lot of good point guards. You even have, I mean, you have Kyle Lowry at a cheap price tag. You have Chris Paul in a competitive game if he plays at 7,500. You have John Morant at 7,100. You just have a lot of good guards today, and I don't see going down to I don't see going down to anyone past Rozier. The bottom of that is all just garbage that I'm going to avoid.
Yeah. All right, last person. What do you think about Patrick Williams and Valentine? They're both 4,400 on FanDuel.
On FanDuel, yeah, both of them are still in play. Yes, they burned a lot of people the other day, but they're both still squarely in play. They're both way too cheap. Both these guys are priced up a lot on DraftKings. You can definitely get to both of them.
Cool. All right.
And I don't mind playing both of them. It's probably gonna be a chalk build, and
Yeah.
I may be there. So
Yeah, don't hate it. All right, well, we can move on then if you don't have anything else. We've got the Cavs taking on the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 10-point favorites, and the over/under is 219.5.
yeah. So I mean, you can always play Jokic, but I don't think you need to on this slate. I mean, Jared Allen started next to Drummond last game, which you saw.
Still projected to
Allen
be
get
that way.
Yeah, you saw Allen get 34 minutes. You saw Drummond get 36. So that's really nice to see. The only thing I think
Thank
this does
God.
hurt. I think this hurts Drummond a little bit because his rebounding is going to go
It
down
does.
a tad from his normal. This is a tough matchup for Drummond as well against Jokic on defense. Yeah, I mean
Agreed.
Drummond's a fair price at 8,300, but I don't know what's Drummond's Fanduel price is the big thing.
77.
So I like that a lot better, obviously because he's cheaper. He may be a cash game play on Fanduel for sure. Just depends on how your lineup shakes out. It's really him and Zeller for me right now, as we've gone through this. Um, yeah, I expect Drummond to be pretty chalky on Fanduel. I can see him getting some ownership on DraftKings too, just because we just saw him get this good amount of minutes. This is a tougher matchup for him, but yeah, I can see it.
He's getting like
But really,
5% right now on mine.
really the rest of this game is meh. Or
Colin Sexton's a
slight in it.
decent price at 6,600. It's not bad.
Yeah. That's really good.
And then you've still got Will Barton. He's playing pretty well. He's 5,400. He's getting a lot of minutes. Is he
Yeah,
going to start today? Yes, he'll start at the twos.
he should start. I I don't think I can trust Will Barton in this matchup.
Yeah, and then we've got Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes are coming up, and he is starting at 5,200. I don't mind that.
Yeah, as long as he's. I mean, this is a game to let him run a little bit more than he normally would. So I can see Michael Porter
Yeah.
being a fun play. But
And then last one, if you needed a punt, a shooting guard position, Okoro is starting. He's 3,500. He is the min. So, I mean, he's
yeah,
seeing.
it's just empty minutes.
Yep.
Like, he just doesn't do anything.
He's not even scoring a
He
fantasy
doesn't. He
point per
literally
minute.
doesn't do anything. Yeah, he's really bad.
Yeah, I hate building lineups with people like him. So, I'm not going there. I think we can move on. That's a pretty mad game to me. All right. Next game we've got the Bucks taking on the Suns. The Bucks are 4-point favorites. The over/under is 226.5. Let's see if we got any injury news.
Yeah. We
So
just need
Chris
to know
Paul.
Chris Paul.
Yep.
Jay Crowder is a game time decision.
Yep.
Let me see.
Drew Holiday is inactive, so that's big.
Yeah.
So glad we know that.
We saw. Yeah, he's still out for health and safety protocols. So we saw Bryn Forbes and Dante DiVincenzo run the point a lot last game. Let's see, Bryn Forbes is 3,800, so it's pretty good value. He played 26 minutes, got you 23.75. I was surprised when we got I was surprised at the news. I was surprised that DJ Augustine wasn't the one starting. But he's him and Forbes like 100% split the point guard minutes or that rotation minutes. They 100% split them. There was no any overlap for anyone else. So how many minutes did DiVincenzo? I mean, he's already playing normal minutes. He played 31. Okay. If Chris Paul plays, I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna lean to just stay away from these people and lean more towards Giannis because of because of Ayton in this game. I think Middleton is a really good price for what he's gonna be able to do with like it's Giannis and it's Middleton and then it's kind of everybody else. I don't like gonna. I'm not gonna think Brook Lopez is gonna take on a huge scoring role, even though he is
No.
4,700 on DraftKings. I think that's a fine price tag that you can get to. How much is Middleton on FanDuel?
76.
Cheaper the other day. Yeah, so really good price tag on Middleton, like fantastic. I can see Middleton and Denzel Valentine as your small forwards easily on there.
And you got Giannis price
So
down too.
do
He's 10-9. That's a pretty good price. Should be a competitive game.
Yeah, I can see getting to a lot of these people. Dante DiVincenzo at 4,700 is a dummy price tag. On FanDuel, he's probably going to be in your cash build. It's going to probably be him and Herter, your shooting guards, and just move on. So yeah, there's a lot to like from that court. I just don't know. I'm gonna probably have DiVincenzo or Forbes on DraftKings, potentially both, depending on how everything shakes out. But I don't know. I think Chris Paul will play. This is a competitive game that they should want to win. He sat out the last game. It was hamstring tightness. Yeah, I just don't know. I will say if he's out, I'll almost put this in the chat the other day because someone asked about Javon Carter with Chris Paul being out, and I said we don't know starting lineups yet. We just knew that Chris Paul's out, and I almost put I almost put Etuan Moore should start because he's been the one running off the bench. They haven't been playing Javon Carter. They've been playing Langston Galloway just a little bit, and then Etuan Moore started and did really really well for his price tag at 3,500. He played 40 minutes against Cleveland. Etuan Moore is not a good basketball player. He's not. But 4,300 on DraftKings is fine to get to. Like if Chris Paul is out. If not, you have problems. The good thing is, I think Bryn Forbes is. So Bryn Forbes is shooting guard. If you put Etuan
Mm-hmm.
Moore in your shooting guard, and then he doesn't start, you could just switch to Bryn Forbes. You're going to leave a little bit of money on the table, but you can do it. So if you wanted to go that build, there is a pivot for you in these later games. So you can definitely do that. But we just gonna have to we're gonna need to know news to do a lot with this game, and we're not gonna get it before lock. So just again be ready because the next game is gonna have some chalky pieces that we're gonna be able to move stuff around if need be.
For sure. Hey, we've got a question in the chat. iPack Games wants to know your top DK plays. It's probably going to be Brogdon Sabonis off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean it's Brogdon and Sabonis are definitely 1 and 2. You're gonna have I mean, obviously, any of the studs are really good for price. I mean, I'm just scrolling back through here. I mean, Rozier and Ball are going to be up there. Probably Drummond's going to be up there. Middleton. Scrolling down through here, looking at the things that I would like take. A lot of the OKC guys, they're projected to only have 8 people. Horford again, even though he didn't play well, but so I'll talk about all that in a second. Miles Turner, Boucher only for GPPs.
Yeah, for
Rui,
sure.
Jeremy Lamb. So, I mean,
Bertans.
Donnie DiVincenzo, Forbes, Bertans. So the OKC
Cool.
people that we'll talk about here in just a second.
All right, let's
Those are
move
all my
on
top
to
plays.
we'll move on to he wants to know about Pat Connaughton. What do you think about him? I just don't think he needed to go there.
I don't think you need to go there either. I don't think I don't think he played too many. I mean, he played 21 minutes. The thing is, he's not the beneficiary of Drew Holiday being out. He's more the beneficiary of if Chris Middleton's out. He plays at 2-3. He's not. They're not going to put him up at the 1. They've got Forbes. They've got DJ Augustine, and they've got Dante DiVincenzo running a lot of the 2. Um, Probably strictly like backing up one of um, Middleton or Dante right now. But they've got a lot of guards that I don't think you need to touch him. There's better plays.
Yeah, for sure. Man, we hit our record number of viewers today, live. We got 18 people. 18 people viewing live right now. That's pretty crazy.
So you ready to talk about OKC?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on, man. So we've got the last game on the slate. We've got a hapless Thunder team taking on the Lakers. Lakers are 12-point favorites, and the over/under is lowest on the slate at 217.5.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we get news about Anthony Davis before this like too long. I'm really expecting him to sit again. They just did fine in this game without him. Actually, I think they may have. Did they lose? No, they won. LeBron did really, really well. Got a triple double. I like LeBron a lot tonight. If AD is out, I don't know if we're gonna know that in time.
Hey, fun fact, Zach. You want to know something funny?
What?
Every time that the Lakers have been without AD, they have been to overtime with shit ass teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. So this game was also double overtime, so take that into account. But um, Shea is out, so I don't expect this game to be as competitive. Okay. Shea did
Agreed.
really good last game. He was pushing triple double himself, kind of pacing LeBron. With that said, there has to be minutes played for this team. There has to be. There's no other option. Their available players are Diallo, Horford, Baisley, Henrik Williams, Lou Dort, Justin Jackson. Yeah, Justin Jackson. Sorry. Darius Miller. That's it. 1, 2, 3,
I think it's
4,
8.
5, 6, 7. I counted 8 earlier. What?
Yeah, it's
Diallo,
8.
Horford, Baisley. That's 3.
Because you got Maladon out.
That's 4, Dort is 5, Justin Jackson 6, Darius Miller 7. Who's the 8th?
Did you
They only have 7? Is this
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I've got 8.
who's the 8th?
Did you get Roby? Kenny Rich Williams,
Oh,
Dort.
Roby's in my build. Sorry, yeah. I was like, I counted 8 earlier. This is fucked up. Okay, yeah, Roby is the 8th. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
so Roby
they
runs
only have
the
8.
4 and the 5, so he's
They
gonna
only
get
have
minutes.
they only have 8 people. Roby's gonna start. They're gonna. This is who they're gonna start. It's gonna be Diallo, Kendrick Williams, or Dort. One or the other. They're gonna. I don't know which one. Probably Dort actually.
They're
But
saying that he's
so
not gonna start. It's
okay,
Diallo, Williams, Dort, Baisley, Horford.
I don't think that. I think it'll be Diallo, one of Kendrick Williams or Dort. It'll be Roby, Baisley, Horford. They did this. Have already done this lineup. Roby starting at the 3. They started a big lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them doing it again, especially if AD plays. They will definitely be running that lineup. I expect that lineup. Regardless, Isaiah Roby is a nut play on DraftKings at 3,700. You're not fading him. You're just not. 5K on FanDuel's a little bit different. I can definitely see not playing him. He's priced up over there. On DraftKings, Diallo 6,500. Yes, this game went to overtime. He got 42. He's going to be the point guard now. I mean, we don't. If you want to be like, oh, this game's gonna blow out if AD plays, cool, it's gonna blow out. They only have 8 people. Like they have to play.
They gotta play.
There's 248 minutes that have to be filled. There's not an option of not playing. Actually, I think 248's wrong. 4 times 240. Sorry, 240 minutes that have to be played. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't just be like, well, we're gonna bench our whole people and we're gonna let 3 people run out there. No, it doesn't matter. So Horford's obviously the first one to be pulled if it's a blowout. If it's really bad, he's gonna be the first one to not play. You're gonna see Baisley and Roby play a ton of the 4 and 5. Then you're gonna see Thor and Williams and Diallo kind of just be the cycle of top pieces. And then I, it's Justin Jackson obviously in there too. It's just this game is nuts for points. Um, but Diallo's good at 6,500. Horford 6,200 is great. Baisley's the only one that I'm not like super excited about. Is 6,100. People may go back to him hard, because he's 6,100 and just scored 48 in a double OT game. Was it double OT or was it just OT? I feel like it was double.
Good question. I think it was just one overtime because the Lakers came back and just smacked him in overtime.
Yeah, it just says overtime loss. Okay, so just one. So I mean, you have Diallo, who played 41, so played 36 in regulation with Shea on the court. You have Horford, who played 34, so he played 29 in regulation. Again, we expect him to play right at 30 minutes. That's what he's going to do. The reason I like Horford a lot tonight is without Shea, his assists and his rebounds and everything else go way up. He shot 20 times last game, only made 6 of them. Okay? If he makes a couple more, not only does he pay off his price, he does a lot better than his price. And now his assist side is going to be up without Shea. So I really do like him again tonight. I played him the other time. But Diallo is going to be a thing that I want to get to today. Then Horford, Baisley. I'm not really on Kendrick Williams at 4,700 and 4,500. He's getting a lot of ownership, but he's not. I'm not there with him. It's really Roby, Baisley, Horford, and Diallo for me on DraftKings.
Yeah, I really like Diallo
Roby's a
too.
lot. Don't overthink Roby. He's priced incorrectly on DraftKings.
Yeah, he is 5K on FanDuel too, so still pretty cheap for what he's gonna play there. What's up, Bagwell? Cool. Well, that's pretty much all we've got here. I actually don't hate Darius Miller because if this game does blow out, they're gonna let this dude play some minutes because they just don't give a shit. He's 3,500. The GPP flyer.
So Darius Miller will not play in blowouts. He's still coming back from an injury. I think it's a knee, so that's why you haven't seen him, even with all these injuries, play more than like 14 minutes. I expect him to stay around that. He's the one that I like is just kind of this fill-in role for a couple minutes, let someone get a rest for a couple minutes, and like this cycle of people.
Yeah, I thought he was
I
getting more
expect
run
him.
than what he was.
Yeah, he's not. It's because he's coming back from an injury.
You're right.
I don't actually know how old Darius Miller is. I feel like he's been in the
He
league
seems
forever.
really old.
NBA.
But he doesn't even matter. He's not even in question. So.
Darius Miller age. He's 30. So yeah, I don't think you should go there. Even in GPPs, he'd be an X out for me. He'd be the one of the 8 people that I would X out on this team. The rest is obviously you can play. I wouldn't play any more than 4 in a lineup. Probably trying to limit that to 3. But I'd at least want on DraftKings again. If you're entering 150, I'd at least want one in every lineup. It's just because there's only 8 players.
Yeah.
They're not priced as well as they have been in the past. Like a couple days ago, I made sure I had at least 2 in every lineup. But this is different now. And Roby is going to be the one that I would be 90% on or more, just 100%, and just put him in there. He's the best value in the slate, and it's not close. He's going to be 90% owned in cash. I'd rather just be there. So
Cool. All right, well, we're done here. Zach, I don't know if you saw it, but I did put a promo in the Discord. I said if we get over 15 live viewers, we would give away a NASCAR or MMA pass, a weekly pass. So we did hit that, and
nice.
I'm gonna give away to Jack Napier. So if you just pick which one you want, MMA or NASCAR pass, hit me up in the DMs, and I'll get you taken
Nice.
care of, man. So appreciate the support,
Congrats, man.
everybody coming out. We hit 18 or 19 live viewers, so that's our biggest one so far, and we've only been doing this like right at a month now, so pretty cool. We appreciate it. If you guys listening, if you want to drop us a follow, we appreciate that. Zach, do you have any higher level thoughts? And you can get to your flag plants here for both sites.
So just like what I'm looking at, like ownership wise right now, a lot of the things I've like really like are kind of coming up towards the top, like Middleton and Brogdon. I was hoping that Middleton wouldn't be catching some of this ownership that he is. It's fine that he is. Um, but Sabonis is not catching a lot of ownership right now. I expect his number to climb. He's at like 17%. Usually, like with him, the thing is he hasn't been catching ownership at these 8K price tags on DraftKings a lot. I think he burnt everyone at like his 84, 85. He destroyed at 8,300 even in a blowout, and then he kind of burnt everyone when he was 8,600. Getting like 28 points when he only played like 24 minutes or whatever it was, and some bullshit that the Pacers are doing. Um, this is a nut matchup for him. I don't see in a realm of possibility that I don't play him in cash. Um, you have the value to get to him and other studs as well with Roby, with a couple other people that I mentioned on here that I had to go back and like look through. And I expect us to get more value throughout the day. Oh, with like Brent Forbes, Ana DiVincenzo, you have people like that. So we have 2 3K starters, and even if Roby's not starting, he's a starter. He's getting a lot of minutes. So Roby and Forbes, even if Forbes doesn't start, Augustine, whatever. You have these people that I expect to do well enough for their price tag. You can kind of do a lot of what you want. I think the mid range is pretty stacked on DraftKings today. I think Harden and Luka are the ones that you could pay up for. Giannis as well. It's probably Harden, Luka, then Giannis for me. Those 3. I don't think you need to get the Jokic today. So that's really I don't You need to plug in Brogdon, Roby, and Sabonis to every DK cash build you have.
Yeah, I agree with the Sabonis take for sure.
If you're building DK cash, you need all 3 of those, and it's not a question. If you don't play those 3, you're doing it wrong. For cash, obviously for GPP, you don't have to have any of them.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I think mine's gonna be on FanDuel. I really like Harden tonight. I think I'm gonna go with Harden. I think Kyrie's gonna take slightly less shots tonight, so I think Harden is gonna be the guy to play over there. That's just my take.
Feel that.
So yeah, you got anything else, Zach? Are we good?
I think we're good.
I'm gonna go get this guy set up for his free weekly pass, and we will see you
Yeah.
guys tomorrow. So thanks for coming out, and we appreciate it.
If you guys have any other questions in your sub, just put them in the chat.
All right, guys, we're out of here. See you tomorrow.